I'm Dorothy Godin, broker with Remax Crown Realty, and welcome to Thursday Thoughts. Welcome to the last Thursday of the year. I am going to wrap up the year for you, and remember that we are speaking residentially, mostly within the city, but I'll also touch base on what's happened in the outskirts too. Forgive me, I do have to probably look at my notes a little bit, and for that, I'm going to need my glasses. So December was quite a slow month for us, the slowest month we've seen this year, with 72 residential sales within the city of Sudbury. The average sale price was pushing about 392. The average days on the market 26 days, and the sale to list ratio 101%. So sellers were getting pretty close to their asking price and sometimes a little bit more. And 43% of those sales were at or above list price. So inventory is still very low. We have 1.8 months of inventory, which is still a strong seller's market. And we have 149 residential listings within the city of Greater Sudbury. So we're still very much in a seller's market. In the out of town, they are pushing and almost at a balanced market with 4.6 months of inventory, and they have 28% of their sales at or above list price. So while our average sale price is down about 10%, maybe a little bit more, if you look at year to date from last year, average sale price is still up 17%. So sellers are still doing great. We do still have a huge lack of inventory, and I think it's pushed by a couple of things. One is we have people who still want to buy. We have people who are just sick and tired of the vulnerability they feel in renting, with rent prices going sky high, even in the city of Sudbury. So we have a lot of people who rent who want to get into the market. We have a lot of people who maybe don't love their house and probably would make a change, but they love their mortgage rate. So anybody who bought in the last couple of years and who locked in for 5 to 10 years have such an attractive mortgage rate that they're not willing to make a move, even though everything being equal, if mortgage rates were the same, they probably would make a move. So we have a whole bunch of people who are just saying, you know what, I may not love my house, but I love my mortgage, so I'm going to stay put. I did look at the first 6 months of the year and compare it to the second part of the year, and what an incredible change. And one of the things that just is so crazy is that the change happened so fast, and all of a sudden, the first 6 months of the year, the average sale price was 498,000. So we saw a few months where it was 500 and above 500. The average days on the market in that first 6 months in the residential listings in the city of Sudbury was 11 days, and we saw that on average houses were selling 18% above list price, and on average, 88% of those houses sold at or above list price, indicating multiple offers. And we saw months where, it was 92% and 90%. And we saw months where the sale to list ratio was 124%. So people were getting, 24 and 25% above list price. So that's the first 6 months. And then, and that's like January, February, March, April, May, June. And then July came, and it's like somebody put the brakes on, and it just switched so quickly that buyers were taken back and sellers were definitely taken back, because all of a sudden they weren't getting the multiple offers. So if you compare the last 6 months of the year, the average sale was down about 10%. Actually, it was more 12%, and we had the average sale price was 435. The average days on the market in the last 6 months, 24 days, and the sale to list ratio was 101%. So sellers are still getting a good price. They're just not getting the 18 to 25% they were getting in the first 6 months. And we're still seeing about 47% of all residential sales in the city selling at or above list price. So on the whole, if you just look at the last 6 months, it's such a dramatic change from the first 6 months. And I think that's what took people by surprise, is how fast that change happened. But the last 6 months have been, in terms of process, a more normal market. In the old days, 95% of list price was a good number. So if you look right now, we're at 101. That's still a good number. Sellers are still doing great. Average sale price is still 17% from above last year. So we are not like Southern Ontario. We are a little bit more stable. Yes, we've lost about 10% of value in the last year, but from our peak. So we're talking about from our peak when people were getting 500 to right now, we're down about 10%. But if you look last year compared to this year, we're still up about 17%. But it's just so interesting how the first 6 months and the second 6 months changed dramatically and so quickly. And all the more reason why I think you need a realtor to help you navigate what's been happening and what's going to happen. We are guessing about what's going to happen, but I can tell you there's no way that the inventory is going to change overnight. We've had such a lack of inventory, and that pressure is still going to be there because we still have buyers who want to buy. And interest rates, although they've gone up, they're not bad. I remember people buying for 15% and 21%. So buyers have now become accustomed to this is our new reality. And so we'll see what happens in the new year. But I suspect that we're going to hover still with that lack of inventory problem. So as I say, the last 6 months on average, sellers are still getting 100 to 101% of list price. So they're doing really well. The sellers who are not doing well are those who just don't believe that, the first 6 months can't happen again. Anyways, I hope you find this very helpful. Please let people know about this YouTube channel. I come in every Thursday trying to just enlighten people and give you my take on what's happening with the market. I'm always open to questions. If you have any, you can always reach me at Dorothy Godin at remax.net or 705-561-2360. Happy New Year. I hope you had a great holiday, and I'll see you next week.